Today's video is exactly what the title says, and that is the cameras and equipment that I use to film my builds, content, and client work. I thought instead of boring you to tears in the office, I'd actually bring you out to the garage, set up everything, display it so you can see it live in the flesh. We'll start with lighting because I believe that is it is more important than a quote unquote good camera. Actually, a lot of things come before a good camera, to be quite honest. So the first lighting that I actually bought was your Amazon spec softboxes, but when shit got real, I bought this. This is a Godox UL150 and a Spectrum Pro Parabolic 70. Basically, they just call them a parabolic dome. And this has the honeycomb in it. I'll show you that in a minute. So this is not bicolor. This is just general 5500 Kelvin. I'm not sure what that is. That's basically represents normal daylight. Now, tip, I was looking at the bicolor version of these. Just spend the extra money and get the bicolor one because there will come a day, a job, or a time where you think, oh, I wish I had one. So just buy one. Following that, what I paired this with when I was starting out was these Godox TL60 RGB lights, bars, whatever you want to call them. Fantastic, buy them. You can substitute these for a key light if you want. Obviously it's not the same, but you can get the same effect. I use these to work on my cars. They're bloody fantastic. And you can do so much with them. This is 5500 Kelvin. You can RGB, have whatever colors you want, or you can get spicy and it has some cool effects. So like, if you don't want to buy one of these and you want to buy something, buy these first because they are very versatile. And honestly, they're just fantastic. Buy them. Now this one above me here, so many letters and names, I'm going to read off it. It is a Godox FLS F6060. It's a mouthful. I actually haven't used these in any shoots yet. I bought them. So these are bicolor. So if you watch up the top there, it's now warm. So that's 3300 Kelvin. And now we're going colder, warmer. So again, more versatile, and this has a honeycomb in it. So this gives a nice, even, I guess, distribution of light, makes it softer. If you want some head down stuff, I don't know if you know, filming up a kitchen, there's many uses. There's rules with lighting, but then there also isn't. Now what you're seeing is a C-stand, but I'll touch on that in the grip and rigging part of the video. Now this is my other key light that I've recently bought along with those. Now this is a Godox SL300R. This is a bicolor light. It is RGB. Let's see if I can find the right one. Here we go, warm, cold. So that's what it means by bicolor. So you can make it cool, warm, very handy. And this is a aperture lantern, and this is the curtain that goes around it. So this is so you can control the light, which as you can see, no light on Jonesy, light on Jonesy. So this is good if you want to have an even distribution. If you've got like a table setting and you don't want the light coming out, you can put this around. Again, many applications. Pretty sure that's it for lights. I had another one around here. Where did it go? Aha, these ones. These are some Temu specials. Now you can get better versions of these. These are just little, again, RGB lights. You can, I actually really haven't messed around with these much, to be honest. Oh, look at that, it's red. You can change colors. You can buy aperture versions of these for they're slightly bigger for like 300 bucks, or you can buy these for 15. Yeah. All right, one thing I forgot is light reflector, diffuser, good photography, get rid of harsh sunlight. Haven't used this often. I actually need to get better with this stuff. Lighting is something I actually sucked at in the beginning and I'm slowly getting better, but still plenty of room for improvement. Hot tip, I can probably do a video on it. You can make a large light diffusion device from a hardware store. Just get some shower curtains, some PVC pipe, and away you go. All right, grip and rigging. So we've already kind of seen it. This here is a C-stand. So you can use these to hold lights. You can mount cameras on them, microphones, or if you're poor because you bought these, you can hang your clothes on them. Now, camera, tripod. This is a Siri, it's a tripod brand. I'll link it in the description. I've had this for years. I can probably get something better. It's good, but it's also annoying when you're trying to position something. You got to like position it, check, adjust. I know this brand has brought out one where it's all controlled. up the top here. But again, it's done really good. It's a lot of the stuff I have, I've kind of not flogged, but it's got a lot of use. Now these are the same stands that I'm holding the RGB bars on. Now these don't actually come with stands. All they come with are these little clips which just screw on there. These stands are actually from those cheap Amazon soft boxes I was telling you about. They don't last very long, they do break after a while. This here is another stand for a light. Light goes on there like so, and then obviously up, down, all that good stuff. These ones are small. I don't even know how I came across these, but aren't they little cute? They're so cute. Look at them. You can probably mount a camera on them if you're doing some low stuff. Again, haven't used these. Moving into here. So this is a suction mount. You've probably seen a lot of the piece to camera stuff I do in a car. This is what I use. It's brand Gecko. I've had this for, God, almost 8 years now, I think. And you've probably seen some stuff. If you haven't, all good. I've mounted cameras on the outside of cars. This is what I use, little suction mounts with these. Now, these probably look like newer, or they look like small rig branded ones. They're not, they're from Temu, and they're very similar. I've only had one of these break, thankfully not while the camera was on the car. But look, I mean, honestly, some of the stuff you get from Temu is actually not bad. Some of it is absolute rubbish. So I could probably do a video on what's good and what's not. I got this little tripod thing from Temu as well. It's good for low mounted stuff. But if you've got a front heavy camera or a heavy lens like what, it'll just fall over. So again, cost me 10 bucks. What do you expect? Oh, and these, I use these with my Rode M4 mics. I'll touch more on that later when we do audio, but just remember this, picture this. Again, from Temu. Right. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, well, don't use it. Next from that, we have the gimbal, which I use. Now this is a DJI Ronin RS3 Pro, carbon fiber, all that good zestiness. And it does come with the follow focus. Fantastic. Prior to this, I had a DJI Ronin M. Mid, but did the job. Now with grip and rigging, two things I forgot. Sandbags. Put them on your C-stand, wherever you have lights, so the light doesn't fall over, so you don't break it, so you don't kill someone, so you don't hurt a car, camera. Just buy sandbags with your C-stands or your light stands. Following that, here we have a newer motorized slider. Now I actually have not used this. What's it for? It's like a cheap dolly, I guess you can say. You put your camera on it and it can move in a controlled manner. I'm sure I'll use that on future projects. Now, to something boring but very important, storage. So if you're filming, you will go through a lot of space. You will use a lot, especially if it's in 4K. So storage is important. I started off with hard drive disks, HDDs. This is my backup for 2019 to 2023 of everything. Now, how I do my storage, I've been slowly refining, but it works. So this is the backup of everything. And then this is, I guess, my primary. So this is what I would directly access if I want something from the Jonesy Express or other things, TJ Media, which is now Kobo Entertainment, all that kind of stuff. But these are hard drive disks as well. Now for 2024, this is my backup of everything, of Kobo Entertainment, the Jonesy Express, personal, all that kind of stuff. But now I use solid state drives, SSDs. Now these are quicker, they are more reliable, but they are way more expensive. Per gigabyte, hard drive disks are better, but these are quicker, more reliable because these have mechanical parts, these don't. Now, this is a Silicon Power brand. These are Samsung's. These are more expensive. Same size, 4 terabytes, an extra $200, but quicker and more reliable. Just spend extra money and buy these. Don't buy this because this one here doesn't work anymore. And I've had it for less than 2 months. And thankfully, if I didn't have a backup, everything on here that I've done this year for the Jonesy Express would be gone. And saying that is probably, if you have the funds to do it, just have a spare hard drive of some kind and spare SD cards because they will just stop working. I was working, turn my computer off, turn it on the next day, and this doesn't work. Don't ask me why, it just stopped working. Following that, coming to SD cards, always have spares. Like, I like having them in packets of spares. I have them in my bag, in my wallet, in my car. Hot tip for you, treat them like a 10mm socket if you're a car guy. They will disappear, you will forget them, they will get lost, and the last thing you want to do is go somewhere, go to a job, and not have an SD card, because number one, you waste your time, it looks unprofessional, and well, everyone thinks you are stupid. So that's storage, boring, can be expensive. There's probably about 30 terabytes of stuff here. Don't cheap out. Have a backup. Have your primary access, what you have direct access to and use, have a backup. Simple, I'll shut up about it. Let's move to audio. Now, audio, I don't have much, again, because I haven't really had the need for high-end mics. What I primarily use is what I'm using right here. It's a lab mic with the Rode Wireless Pro. Now, I had the old ones, the Goes, whatever they are. These are like 10 times better. You get 3, obviously your primary one goes on the camera. The mic, which is actually, I'll show you. It's here. Doo-doo-doo. Then you have a spare one, and you get to charge it. If you put them in here, they charge, so it makes life easier. Tuck this in, look professional. And then you have your spare mics in here. Following that, I also have the attachment where, you know, you see every TikToker doing interviews. Say, what's your body count? 50, anyway. And then for recording car audio, like engine exhaust, I use the Rode M4 paired microphones. And with these, you have a dead cat. Now, be careful not to get it too close to the exhaust, because you will burn it. But these are fantastic. You can use lav mics, but these have a larger diaphragm and the sound quality is just a lot better. Now, as I said, remember that mount that I showed you before? Well, these just slide on like so. Screw it onto your mount, put it near your exhaust, engine, turbo, whatever, and then Bob's your uncle, record your stuff. I actually have a video on YouTube on how to do that. I will link it in the description below. Now, directional mic, this is basic. I've actually, out of all the equipment I have here, I've had this the longest. It is a Rode video mic. Basic, but it does a job for run and gun stuff, or if the person you want to talk to or have speak to the camera is not wearing one of these. But when it comes to better directional mics, I do need to invest in something for doing higher end stuff. But for now, I can just rent it. Now, voiceovers, podcasts, I know better audio. This is a Rode Procaster. I do have a Rode Podcaster. You can use this for podcasts. They're all right. I've got like 6 of these things. One thing with audio I forgot to show you, to use the M5s or these mics or any mic with an XLR input, you will need an external recorder. This is a H5 handy recorder, has adjustable gain, 2 inputs, and then you've got a top input as well. You will need them, and to use that, or best to use that with, and a camera, headphones, so you can actually check the audio, because even though you may see the audio bars on the camera, it doesn't mean it's working. I've filmed an interview, gone home, put it on the computer, checked it, and there's a lovely buzz through the entire clip, which means you have to do it again. Blah, 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 blah. Now, what you've been waiting for, lenses and cameras. Lenses, again, nothing fancy. The one we are using right now is a Sigma 24 to 70mm DGDN Art. I think I got that right. Fantastic lens. It's been through it, it's been dropped, thrown unintentionally, and it still works. This is a budget entry-level cinema lens. I have never used it on a job. I also bought the wrong one. This is for a Canon, but thankfully, because it's all manual, just chuck an adapter on and away you go. Next one I haven't used much of, but I still have, is a Sony 85mm 1.8 prime lens. Again, fantastic. Prime lenses are always better than zoom, just because the glass is better. One I recently acquired is macro lens, G Master from Sony. Fantastic. I wish I had bought one sooner. It just opens up the array of shots that you can do, close-up stuff. It's just, honestly, it's fantastic. I actually use this on a shoot. And I use this and the Sigma, which we're using now, and the color difference and the clarity was a lot different. I'm not sure if it's, of course, it's a macro or of course it's that and a G Master. If the G Masters are that better, then I'll probably buy one. Now, telephoto lens, 7200mm, f4. Again, I use it occasionally. It's good for if you want that shallow depth of field, or if you want to go to track days, motorsport events, all that kind of stuff. Next one, which I do use quite a bit, it's a wide lens. It's a Sony / Zeiss 16 to 35mm f4. Again, good for very wide stuff, shooting, garage setups, offices, or real estate. Now, what you want for your lens is filters. Minimum, as you can see on this one here, there is a little filter on it, and as you can see, it's dirty, which is fine because this is a UV filter. Now, I use them for the purpose of if you scratch or break your UV filter, which is around $100 to $200, that's better than scratching your actual lens, which is probably $1,000 to $2,000. So just always, when you buy a brand new lens or if you own a lens, put a UV filter on it. Just spend the money because you'd rather crack or break that than your lens. I've cracked and broke many UV filters. Following that, you want to have a CPL filter. Now, what this does is this takes the reflection out of glass, paint, anything that gives you a reflection. And following that, if you look at me, you have an ND filter, which if I get up and close personal here, gets darker. I think, is that getting darker? Getting lighter. Is that bright or is that still overexposed? You're welcome. So those I would recommend, UV, CPL, and ND filter, seriously, just get them. And then if you want to go one step further, step up rings. So if you don't want to buy an individual CPL filter for each lens, you can just get a big one like on this camera and then put it on a smaller lens. Cameras, oh my God, it's so exciting. Everyone wants to know, what camera do you run, bro? It's like, what turbo do you run? No one cares. Actually, people care too much actually. So this is the first camera or first Sony that I started with. It is a Sony a7R4. Fantastic, and the one that I'm using, my wife is holding, is a Sony a7S III. Both have photo and video capabilities. However, this is more for photo, that one is more for video. This one has been unintentionally launched, so you can probably see it's a bit damaged here. The cinema lens was attached to it. Basically, just make sure all the zips on your camera bag are done up before you swing it onto your shoulder and your camera goes. Thankfully, both still work. Now with gimbals or cameras or anything, have plenty of batteries. That is an external monitor. Just have batteries, have more than one, because the last thing you want to do is be on a job where you have to take a charger with you and keep swapping in between 1 or 2 batteries because you don't have enough. Again, speaking from experience from when I first started. So this is what I store it in. Look, camera bags, whatever works, but I've literally lived out of this bag overseas. Both for filming content and not, but look, you have many compartments here. You can change them up. This is the compartment that I did not have done up. So when I put my bag on my shoulder, the camera went out. Look, fantastic bag. I think it cost around $200. Oh, one thing while we're here, lens pen, get one. Fantastic for cleaning lenses and a little thing. That's pretty much it. I think I've covered most of it, I think in a quick and efficient way. That's what I run, and you will see more creative content and more in-depth stuff. And you will see these lights in action, how-tos, and all kind of good stuff. If you want content, I can do it for you. Just visit cobaltentertainment.com.au. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.